Hey guys, it's Matt, and this is my review of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Now, the thing with this series is, Harry Potter is part of my childhood. It essentially was my childhood. So seeing it end is naturally kind of depressing in a way. I mean, there's a lot of things I would consider part of my childhood. Dragon Ball Z, as many of you know from that rant video, The Karate Kid, basically every 90s cartoon, Nickelodeon show. But no, Harry Potter is like, I started reading those books when I was 7 years old. I'm almost 20 now, and it's just ending. Just thinking of it like that, like Harry Potter was my entire childhood and dropped me off just as I'm like turning 20. I mean, thinking about that, that's kind of ridiculous. So, with a heavy heart, we've got to say goodbye to one of my favorite franchises. But here's what I thought of the movie. Overall, I thought just to do a quick thing, I'd say they did a fantastic job with the movie. The only gripes I would possibly have with it, you know what? Basically, the movie starts off with the final scene as from Part 1. They show Voldemort getting the Death Stick, Elder Wand, whatever you want to call it, and basically breaking into Dumbledore's grave. And then they leave off, showing Dobby, here lies a free elf, and everyone got all teary-eyed. I was like, it's like, you started this cry back in November. If you've been crying for 7 months straight, there's really no help for you. But yeah, so then they showed Dobby again, everyone got all teary-eyed in the theater. Fun, good. And overall, after that point, they continued the quest for the Horcruxes. They kept in a lot of stuff, which is why I'm really happy they did 2 parts, because they did keep in a lot of stuff from the books. But I saw a lot of people complaining that they didn't leave in enough. In my opinion, Harry Potter purists, there's absolutely no pleasing a true Harry Potter purist. They'll just hate everything that ever comes out, because there's no way to get a book and a movie one-to-one. It's damn near impossible. Adaptations need to be adaptable in order for them to work properly. I mean, I read one review where the guy's like, oh, they left out the incredibly emotional reunion between Percy and the Weasleys. Something like that would overcomplicate the plot so much to the point where it's not even worth including. I mean, the movies only followed Percy while he was a prefect at Hogwarts, and when was the last time we even saw him in a movie? Like, I think it was movie 1 or movie 2. Probably, I don't know, I'm sort of rusty on my Harry Potter. Last time I read through those books was a couple years back. Because if you read a book right before the movie comes out, you're going to be a lot more critical on the movie. So I came in with a clean slate, just knowing what I know from the 4 times I read it a few years back. But yeah, Percy, he hasn't been seen in any movie. I mean, like, they never detailed his betrayal from the family in the first place, so showing an emotional reunion between him and the Weasleys would just be a very just awkward moment to throw in. It's kind of like saying, Peeves wasn't in any of the movie, but we really wanted to include that water balloon scene in movie 4, so we threw him in. It wouldn't fucking make sense. Oh, I'm sorry, I swore. I know Harry Potter's intended for little kids, but yeah, I'm going to be swearing in this. I already did, as you can tell. But it wouldn't make sense. I thought they did a phenomenal job. They did what they needed to do. The only gripe I actually have with the film is they sort of overextended and over-epiced the final battle at Hogwarts. But yeah, they made that final battle scene, and they drew it out incredibly longer than it was in the book. And the book, yes, there was a battle going on the whole time. That part was good, but then they threw in many extra scenes that were just never existed originally. Like Harry grabbing Voldemort and jumping off a cliff, or jumping off the astronomy tower. I was like, I mean, when that showed up in the trailer, I was like, when the fuck was that in the book? It wasn't. And then when I saw it in the movie, it got really weird, because then there was sidelong apparition, and then it just shows them sidelong apparating and slamming into the side of Hogwarts, and then Voldemort makes this really weird face that I almost died laughing at. He was like, I can't even impersonate it. It was a very, very, very peculiar face. So, things like that kind of weirded me out. But overall, other than making it a lot more epic than it was described in the book, which is really weird because it's usually the other way around. And I kind of like the book's version better, but of course, if they wrote it exactly like that, the ending would have been so anticlimactic because the book, if I recall, just describes Avada Kedavra, Expelliarmus, bang, dead. If that's pretty much how the book went. In the movie wasn't quite like that. It was like it's weird trying to describe a final fight scene without ruining a final fight scene, if you know what I mean. But anyway, the movie was absolutely fantastic. I thought it did incredible justice to the Harry Potter franchise, and it's a great way to end it off. I'll give this movie a 9.5 out of 10, simply because there were a few things that were kind of awkward to watch, but at the same time, I thought they did a really good job with it. The 3D effect was fantastic. They actually gave, instead of the typical 3D glasses, we got these ones that were, looked like Harry Potter's glasses. That was kind of awkward. In a way, I was like, everyone's like, oh my god, cool, Harry Potter glasses. And I'm like, it's just peculiar. They work just like any other passive 3D glasses. But it was work. The 3D added a lot of depth to the movie. I liked it. Nothing really popped in your face, but I liked the additional definition and depth the 3D added to it. I couldn't see it in IMAX because all the IMAX is sold out a lot earlier than I expected them to. And yeah, that was basically my review. Overall, pretty sad this whole thing's over, but you know what? The Harry Potter franchise is acquired and accumulated over $20 billion in revenue, so odds are Warner and JK aren't going to let something that huge drop. So, who knows, we might be seeing more in the future. JK actually left it open for an 8th book in 2017, so who knows. Yeah, that's basically it. I don't want to really drag out this video any longer than I already unintentionally dragged it out. So, until next time, probably more of a substantial, more exciting, me yelling and complaining and ranting about things video. Oh no, wait, actually the next video on this channel is a channel update. Whatever. I will see you guys later!